Hi, welcome to Cowtown Colorworks. My name is Lori. My cat Pearl on Instagram and Ravelry, and I also have an Instagram under Cowtown Colorworks. Welcome back. It's been feels like a long time. Although I think I recorded on December 28th. The last time, I'm not 100% sure, but I think that's when it was. But today is Sunday, January 24th, and this is episode 15. It's been crazy life. I think I mentioned before, my mom was battling some cancer and had her surgery about 2 weeks ago. So we've been dealing with that, and we've also been doing some little minor home renovations, some tile work in front of the fireplace. I just painted it, actually. I'm waiting on coats to dry right now, and I'm watching the New England Patriots. Go Patriots! I am originally from Ohio, but I lived many years in New England, in Massachusetts to be exact, and became a Patriots fan when I lived there. Love them. Go Pats, although they're not looking so good right now. Hopefully the second half will be better. It is halftime. And like I said, I'm waiting on paint to dry, which I can see the color. It's a lovely shade of burgundy. It was a sage green. I decided to go dark with the new tile. I got some slate, waiting for some new carpet and some wood flooring in my dining room and living room. No, strike that, dining room and kitchen. So we've got a lot going on in my life, and work, of course, is busy. So I thought this was a good time to take a break and catch up. I've missed y'all, and I've got a lot of almost done. It's really nothing finished. There's an update available. Nothing finished, but a lot of almost finished, if that makes sense. Other than the house stuff, what else is going on in Ohio? It's not a whole lot going on. Obviously, the Buckeyes, if you watch football, won the Fiesta Bowl. A little sad they didn't get to go to the national championship, but it's nice that they won, and they beat. Who did they beat? Notre Dame. That's who they beat. And it was a rather sound thrashing. So go Bucks. My part-time job that I work, that I always kid around and say that's my yarn money job. I work at the Schottenstein Center, which is at Ohio State. It's where men's basketball team plays, the women's basketball team, and men's hockey. So we've been watching a lot of hockey this week. It's freezing in there when the ice is always down. I guess that's not a true statement. The ice gets put up at the beginning of the season. It's there throughout the whole season, as with most college. If you watch college basketball and they have a hockey team, most likely under that court, unless they have a separate arena, is ice. So when it's a hockey game, they take the basketball floor up. It gets a little colder in the arena because there's ice, obviously, out. And then when there's a basketball game, so there was a hockey game last night. Today they're putting the basketball floor back down, and then Monday the men will play basketball in the arena. So I work there, a couple nights a week. It's fun. It is what I just said. It's yarn money, travel money, a little extra. My niece and I think I mentioned last week, are going to New York City the full weekend in February for her 25th birthday. And we're planning on some yarn shopping. I'm so excited. We're going to try to go to Gauge and Tension, maybe Pearl Soho, and then there's the Lion brand yarn store. So it's a whole store studio. They do classes, but they sell all the Lion brand yarn, which apparently includes pattern, which I didn't know that, but it does, I think. But I was reading on the website, they have some cashmere, so they definitely have some other yarns besides what you can buy at your local store. So we just thought that would be super fun to go and see. I do use a fair amount of that type of yarn, especially with baby blankets and slippers, things that you just really, they're going to get a lot of wear and they're not going to last a long time. So I prefer to use a less expensive yarn when necessary. And I really enjoy some Lion brand stuff. And I will also tell you, I was at Joann's, speaking of, I needed to get some double points in some different sizes that I didn't have, and I just grabbed some clover. It's just convenient. But they have some wool yarn from Australia. 100% merino. I don't even think it's superwash. I think it's just straight up so soft. A 50-gram ball, though, is $15. I thought that was a little pricey, if you ask me. However, I mean, it is 100% wool. It's imported from, I believe it was Australia. I definitely would love to try some. And with, you get your 50% off one item, it would totally be worth it to try. And it's beautiful, beautiful colors. Definitely not hand dyed. It's very saturated with color, so there's not something that I enjoy, and I can show you on what the socks I'm working on. I kind of enjoy that the parts where maybe it's not 100% coverage or the tonal of a hand dyed yarn. I really enjoy that. But I don't know, it's super soft, it's really pretty. I'm gonna have to try some. I didn't get any right now, but I'll think of something to. I never really needed an excuse to buy yarn, but I will. I'm really trying to not to buy more yarn for right now and use up some stash, and B, I'm going to go to New York to these stores, and I want to buy some hand dyed yarns, and kind of she and I are going. Our plan is to buy some yarn in New York, and then at the Lion Brand store maybe find a pattern that's based on New York, something, or look on Ravelry and find I don't know if Brooklyn Tweed has any kind of patterns out. I mean, I'm sure they do, but I just haven't looked really. Or something inspired by New York, just as a memento of our trips. We went down, knit maybe a New York-based shawl, something. I don't know. So that's a huge plan for us. And then we found a bookstore. Now, I'm not sure if I mentioned my niece. She's been on before, but she's an English teacher. She teaches high school English. And we love books, reading and perusing bookstores. And here we have half-price books. And I think it's a national chain, but I don't know where they're at. Other than here in Ohio, or here in Columbus, I should say, we have several, and they're pretty decent sized stores, and they're exactly what they say. They buy and sell used books, and so they're really reasonably priced, and we can spend hours just going over the shelves. I mean, she definitely has her genre. I have mine. Sometimes we, have like the same books. So I told her, I'm like, this bookstore in New York City. Called Strand. 4 stories, I believe. But the big thing is it's huge, and if you stack all their books end to end, it would take up like 18 miles. Yeah, that's a lot of books. I'm so excited. So we have a list of books that we're looking for that are either coming out before we go or that I've wanted to pick up for a while. I mean, I don't buy a super ton of paperback books or imprint books because I could really overrun my house, and I try not to overrun myself. Down here in my woman cave, I do have a couple bookshelves, and I really weeded through the books when I moved to the condo from the house, and I really tried to keep it to the 2 series that I love. I kept those books, some random books, and then some books that I bought, maybe on vacation, or that just meant a lot to me, or that I haven't read yet. I have a whole shelf of to-be-reads. Other than that, I usually do ebooks, and I put them on my iPad, which I love. I love the fact that I can take my entire library with me anywhere I go, and I have them all separated into folders because I might be a little OCD. But I have everything is sorted by author and series. I love series books. I read very few authors that the stories aren't in a series because I just really get into the characters and I like following them, and I enjoy a good series. So, and then I have a folder set up, the To Be Read folder, like my To Be Read show. And in the To Be Read folder is all the books that I've loaded from various sources, that obviously I haven't read yet. So it's nice that I can go on vacation or travel. I travel a fair amount and have all my books with me. So I love that. But I also love paper and the smell of a book. And so I have all different. The other awesome thing about my iPad is I have a folder in iBooks of all my patterns that I've purchased or were free on Ravelry. I haven't taken them all out of Ravelry, out of my library, but anything that I've printed, or think I want to do, because I really haven't figured out how to do a knitting pattern that I don't write on. I'm a writer. I make lists. I write on the, the margins. So I can email them to myself from my iBooks and print them, write all over it, finish that project, toss that away, and we'll always have a clean copy on my iPad. And they're organized, very tiny and neat. So I enjoy my iPad. The funny thing is, like, I love my iPad, but I love my Galaxy. I'm a Galaxy girl. I didn't want the iPhone. I have friends who have it, and I've tried them out. I love my Galaxy. And I will tell you one thing. This is the Galaxy 5. I'm ready next month for the Galaxy 6, I think. But they are water resistant, if you will. And I've never, ever saturated this phone. Now, I had my old phone rained on. I was camping with my best friends up in Akron, and we got stuck in a microburst, and our tent, like, blew up. I mean, it was crazy. The trees were falling down around us. My phone was laying on my bed inside inside the tent, and the rain was blowing sideways, and it just saturated the bed, and I have lost the phone that way. I've never dropped my phone, had never dropped my phone in the toilet before. I got in this bad habit recently of throwing my phone in my back pocket. I don't know why. I think because my new jeans, like, that I wear, women's pants don't have a substantial front pocket, so I stuck it in my back twice. In the past month, it has fallen in the potty. Clearly, both times, or thank God, both times it was clean. Nothing was in the potty. But it's fine. I mean, I got a little water in where the charger goes, and a little water on the speaker, but I both times was able to blow it out, just blowing on it, dried my phone, and it's worked fine. And knock on wood, because I'm not quite ready for the new phone yet. But anyway, I love the Galaxy. I like the Android for my phone, but I love my iPad for pretty much everything else. And I often find myself trying to get the burgundy paint off my knuckle. Find myself thinking, what did I ever do with all this thing? It's so handy dandy. So that's it. Well, I love it. If it ever potties out on me, I'll get a new one, because I really don't know how I live without it. Especially for reading. I wear glasses. They're transitions because I'm blind. I'm not really blind, but I have a pretty thick prescription. And in the iPad, when my eyes get tired, it's harder for me to read, but I like that I can backlight it. I can increase the font size. Really, I mean, it's kind of, it's portable. So they're Apple, free plug from me. I'm really nobody, but it's a free plug, whatever it's worth. I'm looking around my space, and it is a complete and utter disaster. You can't see it, but trust me, it's a disaster. I just finished sewing a bunch of new bags. Got them up in the shop. It's a disaster down here. I've got little threads all over, but I decided I just wanted to record and worry about the mess later. All right, so onward ho. What am I working on? Well, as I said in the beginning, this is my episode of the almost done. And this is my, what is this? This is my Darjeeling. Darjeeling. I believe it's what it is. See, I write all over. I don't know if you can see it. I just write on everything. I mark my rows. I keep my counts. This is the Darjeeling shawl by Joan Forgione. It was an Interweave magazine. It is not a color printout. I just photocopied it out of the magazine because, again, I like being able to write on it, fold it up, stick it in my bag. This was supposed to be done for Christmas, and it hasn't made it. Oh, sorry. It hasn't made it. Obviously, I'm not done yet. The yarn is, I believe it's Stroll. Sorry, my needles are making a noise. It's Knit Picks. Stroll Glimmer Knit Picks. I really enjoy this. 70% superwash merino, 25 nylon, 5 stellina. So you could totally make socks out of it, but I went with the Darjeeling, and it's, you start off with just stockinette, and then you add this one lace border in the white, little snowflake. I think it looks like snowflakes. And then you have an applied border that I'm going with this, it's called pomegranate. I thought it would be a little more red, although it just kind of looks like an old-fashioned Christmas, but I don't know why it's taking me forever. I just have lost steam, but this is what I have left. So honestly, it's been going to work with me. It went all last week. It took me a week of lunches just to go this far. I don't know what my problem is. I mean, I got the green was done in just a couple days. Obviously, it was stuck in that, but, and then the white, I mean, the white kind of flew. And then unfortunately, I petered out at the red, but I'm my goal. I'm getting this done. So what I've done is, and I think part of the problem is the chart was very small. And again, I think I've mentioned my vision. It just, I mean, I can see it's fine, but sometimes it's challenging. So I went ahead and blew up the chart, made it larger, so I could put it on my chart reader and see it while it's sitting on the table. And that seems to have sped the process up a little bit. So I'm thinking I was just fiddling with the pattern too much and spending so much time going, looking back and forth because I was losing my place. I love these. If you've never used one of these chart keepers, this one was from Knit Picks. I think they have full size and half size. And this is obviously the half size, but I love it. I did buy the extra magnet set. It was like $1.99 or something. But I use this one to move up and down the pattern as I'm going, and it just holds my spot perfectly and makes everything go much quicker. So I am confident that I should be able to get this done this week. Hopefully. And then wash it, block it, and have it for next Christmas. Although I could wear it, really. I mean, it doesn't have to be for Christmas. It was just something I was making for Christmas because I thought it would be super pretty. So that's one almost done. I think I just need to get something off the needles before I go crazy, I should say. And then another project that's almost done. Actually, this is nowhere near done. These are the button-up boot socks. And this is some yarn that I am using from Lion Brand. It's the Heartland. And this is 100% acrylic. But I loved the color. It's really soft. It's not coming up good. Maybe back here is a little better. It's raspberry. So pretty. I love it. It's soft, but let's be honest, these are slippers. And I don't care that they're acrylic. My cousin will enjoy these. They're going to be a gift. And this was in the winter 2014 Love of Knitting magazine that I bought. I bought the magazine last year because I wanted to do these. And these will get done. I'm down to the Kitchener. And my cousin has the tiniest little foot. She's a size 6 adult, which is, I guess, the equivalent of like a child size 3 or something. I'm not really sure, but I took him to our house because I did the measuring and I put my foot in it before I started the decrease. And I'm like, okay, well, I'm an 8.5, so I'm going to start decreasing here. And they fit her perfect. I was like, girl, you have got the tiniest little foot. This is the third attempt at this sock. And I love this pattern. And it's not cabled. It's done with twists. You can see how they're raised there. It's done with a twist. Twisted stitches. And it's supposed to be the top done in the flat. And then a band up the side. And then you put buttons and connect it with buttonholes. I kept losing my place. I really was struggling with the connection on the foot, and then I was losing the pattern, and it was making me crazy. So after the third time of ripping it out from the other colorway, I decided that was part of my problem. That yarn had a lot of halo to it, and I don't know. So I found this yarn, and I thought this is the perfect yarn. I cast it on in the round. and it worked out perfect. So what I'm going to do is sew some buttons up the side and just kind of bow it. I love them. It's super cute. It's, you know, they really knit up fast. I just need to get back into them. So as soon as I finish, I got to get these off the needles, and then I will cast on the other boots on those, and then get them to my poor cousin. Well, I mean, she's in no hurry, but I want her to have them, and I was hoping to have them done around Christmas, but clearly I did not get anything done at Christmas. What else I got? Oh, mess. I have to tell you, I have no idea how anybody finished this shawl in 4 weeks. It's the Doodler by Weston. It was a mystery knit along. You know, and I don't feel like I'm a slow knitter by any stretch of the imagination. But I work 2 jobs. I take care of my mom. I've got family, the holidays, the whole myriad of reasons why it wasn't done, I guess, now. But to be honest with you, the first week, the directions were almost 2.5 pages. I mean, that's a lot of knitting. I love it, don't get me wrong, and I'm not sure that I'm going to have enough to get to the, let's see if I can get a picture, get this up here for you, to get to the all 17 wedges done. This is the right side. Where's the right side? Okay. I did cast on a larger needle. It's done with sock weight, but I chose to cast on a size 6 because I like the drapiness of the fabric. I didn't really want it to be stiff. Can't really see what's going on, but and I have got all of a sudden some really strange pooling happening. So it was going along, and then all of a sudden this wedge, the last couple wedges, decided to start pooling. It is what it is. And I love it, and I love the cable or the I-cord bind off. Can you see it there? Yeah. So it's really rainbowy, and then I use the yellow as my offset color. This is the rainbow. This yarn here is County Fair, and it's hand paint, I believe, by Knit Picks. And then this gold color is the stripes in between. It's something I dyed up myself. Let's see, I might have to come back here with, yeah, it's a yellowish gold. I've got an overhead light, so it's definitely more yellow than it's showing up. And then I will move into this green, which definitely is pulling more blue on you. It is a true Kelly green. I also dyed up this color. Maybe that helps. Yeah. But all I have left is this little tiny tot of a cake. And I think I'm on the 14th wedge. So I have another 80 rows. I'm never going to make it. And that's fine. I will go as far as I can go. And then I'll start the next section. I'll probably finish another wedge or 2. And then start on the next section, which is some cabling. I mean, I really love the coloring of it, and I think it's going to be so pretty. It's just, it's taken me a while, but it's not a race for me. I would love to have it done, but it's some pretty mindless knitting as far as work knitting. It's nice to take to work and just, once you know what row you're on, you're either an increase row or just straight knitting. This is a non-increase row, which is probably, because of the size it's getting, and then I'm not increasing where my pooling came in, which is fine. It'll be pretty. Once it's complete, it will be pretty. Just ready to move on to the next stage, but again, maybe I will get another, hopefully I finish this wedge, because I have 6 more rows, so I'll finish this wedge and maybe the next wedge, and that's it. That'll be all the yarn I have, and I don't really want to order more yarn for just a couple rows. I'd rather just alter the cabling and call it a day. And then the last thing that I'm working on, and this is, they're at the same place, so I knit in tandem. And I've been keeping my balls of yarn in the sock because they're getting tangled in my bag. These are my Dr. Seuss socks for a cruise that I was supposed to go on this year, but this was going to be my knitting. It was a Seuss at Sea on Carnival's cruise, but we didn't get to go, so I just want to finish the socks anyway. But they're Dr. Seuss, thing 1, thing 2. I'm not sure if you can see the tonal, maybe a little bit, in the red. I really like that, and I feel like they look kind of old-fashioned-y. I could totally wear these at Christmas time, too. I dyed the yarn. This is like just a sock yarn. I think I got it Joanne, plain or in a cream color. Deborah Norval maybe, or Serenity. I think it's Serenity. And then this was glimmer yarn, or has stellina in it, that I bought and striped myself to try some striping. So this will be it. I'm ready now, which I will do here in the next, probably this afternoon while I'm watching the rest of the Patriots game, is do the 2 heel flaps and the heel turns. Get them connected again, because I'm going to do that in this teal color, the heels and toe. Get it back up to where I'm back to knitting in the round. And then this will be my purse knitting for my trip to New York. Just to keep with us when we're on the subway. Sarah's working on some mitts. I told her to save them and bring them, because that's something she can do. Gosh, if we just want to go have coffee, or, you know, wait for the subway or whatever, just to have something to do a little quick knitting on. You know, or if the weather's bad and we're stuck in the hotel, have something to do. But I want the heels done. That's not something I want to do on the subway. I'll lose track of my rows. And it's in my red fish, blue fish little bag that I got. Gosh, I think we got these in the dollar bin at Target. I love Target. So that's, you know, pretty much my whips right now that I'm actively working on. I really have one in each room. And then when I'm there, either the living room, my bedroom, my work. So I'll take the Darjeeling with me and out on Monday. So tomorrow I'll take it to work and I leave it at my desk, just on my shelf in my office. And every day at lunch, you know, I go for 30 minutes, 45 minutes, however long, and you know, put on a few rows. On that, I can get a couple rounds of that chart done, and hopefully that'll be done by the end of next week. I would really, you know, be able to feel like I got some progress done if that was the case. The downside to a part-time job, unfortunately, is I just don't have a lot of time to knit at home. You know, but I have my work, and that season is winding down. Basketball season will be over here in a couple months, and during this summer, it's just concerts. You know, and that's the other reason I love working there. I mean, I've got to see some fabulous concerts. You know, Bruno Mars. I even saw Miley Cyrus, which I probably wouldn't have gone to see, but it was there and I worked it. The Buckeye Country Fest I saw last summer. That was actually at the Shoe. Now, normally where the Buckeyes play, this is called the Shoe. They don't do concerts anymore. They haven't since the 80s, but they started doing them again. And because I already work for OSU, and we do concerts, like that's what we do. The staff that they have at the Shoe, they're called Redcoats. They are not used to doing concerts because that's not what they do. It was only ever football, you know, at the Shoe. So they've asked us to work there, which is fine. Again, you know, there was some good concerts. this year I'm totally bummed. Janet Jackson was supposed to come. Miss Jackson, if you're nasty. But she had to cancel portions of her tour, I guess, because she'd had surgery. So she won't be there. This summer, I think I'm old. Okay, well, I am old. I'm 45. But I'm so stuck in like 70s and 80s music. And love Journey. So I'm probably going to see them again this summer. I've seen them, I can't tell you how many times. And I love them. I love concerts and I know the music and can sing along. It's just like built-in karaoke, and nobody cares if I'm drinking because they're drunk or whatever, and I'm singing along. So that's, it's fun. It's a fun job. Like I said, it's when you earn money. The other super fun thing, Santa Claus was so good to me this year. Bought me a spiralizer for my KitchenAid mixer. Crazy. You hook it on the front, like the KitchenAid has that place where you can plug things in. You hook it on the front and turn it on, and it spins, and it will peel apples and slice. So either peel or slice, or peel and slice at the same time. So it has 4 blades, 2 thicknesses for the peeling or the slicer, and then it spiral cuts like spiral French fries. You can do all sorts of vegetables and make voodles, they're called, or vegetable noodles, veggie noodles. And I've been doing zucchini with it. So good. I mean, you make this big bowl, so you do like 4, 5, 6 zucchini, saute them with a little oil in a pan to get the juices out, and then you can eat them like stir fry. Eat them in. Tonight I made some bolognese sauce, and I'm gonna top them with. It's like spaghetti and meatballs. I mean, it's really good, and it's carb free. I have diabetes, so I'm not, carbs are not my friend. I love them. I could live on bread, and I will tell you, in Paris, I ate way too much bread when I was there. Don't care. We walked it off, so it really wasn't a big deal, but I love bread. I'm just a carbaholic. Bread, pasta, all the bad things, the white stuff. I love it, but it's not good for me, so I try not to eat it. So tonight is boodles. Boodles for dinner. Yum. There'll be pictures on Instagram, I'm sure, because everything I do goes on Instagram. Well, we're at about 32 minutes. I think that's a good welcome back. Happy New Year. Happy 2016. Who knew? Crazy 2016. Like I said, there's been an update. Ooh, my hair's a little crazy today. Update in the shop. Got some sock size bags and some this size, medium size bags in there. So this holds a shawl, a small sweater, child sweater. So I have this size, and then I have sock size, which is here. I'll show you one because it's sitting right here. Happens to be my favorite too. Tiny little sock size bags in there. And this is the Argyle bag. I love it. And they're all lined. I've decided to go with, you really can't see, but it's white on white. So it's white. Give me a little look down here. With a white shinier, because I like to be able to see the bottom of my bag, and you can definitely see that with a white fabric. The darker fabrics are fun, but I felt like I was losing stuff in there. And it's much easier to just buy yards of this fabric, when I find it, than to keep buying contrasting. I don't know, maybe it's lazy. I just find it easier. And then my little labels, which I love. They say Cowtown Colorworks. Oh, we can't see it because it's sort of in the seam. I haven't ironed this one yet. And then they all get a zipper pull of some sort. I think this one has these mopeds, which is totally retro because I felt like Argyle's retro, and a little ribbon. And they just open and shut. Keep your stuff. So there's this size and there's this size in the shop. 20, 18, I believe. And this is my I Love New York bag because I love New York. All right, that's it. Have a great work week. See you soon. Bye.